taxes, and I care about where my money goes. I'm not here to pay for so-and-so because there's a confusion about who's the father. That's not my business. And for me, I want to fund schools. I want to fund the MTA because the trains are never on time. We got bigger problems.
We paying taxes. Biden sending billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine. Are you tripping about that? I don't want to make this a political thing, but you brought up taxes and where you feel like your money should be going. What's up, gang? What it do? Y'all all right? Y'all chilling? Listen. Woman says it's stupid for mandatory paternity tests. Why do you feel that it's stupid to have mandatory paternity tests? Do you not know who the baby father is? Let's get into it right now. I'm not even about to hold y'all up because this is something that I feel should be mandatory. And I'll say why later.
I think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid. I don't think that, it's something that if you feel like you need a DNA test, go do that on your own time because you feel that way. I don't think every person, there's millions of people in the United States. Like, it doesn't make sense that people could be using that time to do other things. Like, you could be saving a life. You could be in a hospital saving a life.
Yeah, she said you could be saving a life. You could be saving somebody else's life. You're absolutely correct. But you can be saving that baby's life. You can be saving a life of a man that doesn't have to be tied down to a woman that was pinned into a situation. If a paternity test was available in the hospitals and he was able to get this test done, it would alleviate a lot of BS down the line. Men get pinned all the time, and this has been happening for centuries upon centuries upon centuries. You're telling me that it's stupid? No, this is exactly what we need. Why? Because DNA test, this is going to be able to pinpoint, okay, he is the father. No questions asked, and he should step up to the plate or he should be put on child support. Plain and simple.
Taxes. And I care about where my money goes. I'm not here to pay for so-and-so because there's a confusion about who's the father. That's not my business. Handle your personal shit. And for me, I want to fund schools. I want to fund the MTA because the trains are never on time. We got bigger problems. We have it.
Sounds good, right? Yeah. Of course, we want to put our taxes to certain areas within this global economy. That's for sure. We do. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, okay, well, we paying taxes. Biden sending billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine. Are you tripping about that? I don't want to make this a political thing, but you brought up taxes and where you feel like your money should be going, right? So meanwhile, we got billions and billions of dollars going to Ukraine for these people to have pensions, for these people to be living a decent life. Meanwhile, we in America barely surviving, still scraping up money, still scraping up stuff just to make ends meet. So it doesn't matter about how you feel. Oh, I don't feel good because my tax money. Stop it. Cut it. Next one. We not about to have that today. We not. Because you can't determine where your tax is going in the first place. You don't know where your tax money going.
I'm sorry, I'm not paying for no mandatory test.
You don't think that test should be mandatory? Well, if you know who the father is, and if this issue didn't arise as much as it has been, then maybe it wouldn't be mandatory. This right here stops a whole bunch of BS in its tracks. So meanwhile, a woman could be over here saying, oh, you the daddy. Oh, you're the daddy too. Oh, he's the daddy too. You know what I'm saying? 3 people the daddy. The kid come out, you got 3 men taking care of a kid that they think is theirs, and they doing their part. They're showing up when they're supposed to show up. But at the end of the day, she got 3 whole dudes that she finessing. So it's deeper than just a paternity test. These men are being held captive to a certain extent. These men's pockets are being held at ransom, period. To alleviate all of it, get the DNA test, call it a day. You'll find out the truth.
Let us understand why it's so selfish of you women who debate and argue against these mandatory maternity tests. Because we hear these stories time and time again. We see numerous clips of men presenting the DNA papers to their women and say, hey, look, it's proof that I am not the father.
You are not.
I mean, you even make a TV show of
Fine,
it.
I'm the father of that baby, boss. Boss, I'm that baby's daddy. I'm Pepe.
Now, even though that was a comedy clip and it was funny, yeah, it was. But at the same time, this is how men are manipulated into stepping forward into being the father of these children that are potentially not theirs. To alleviate all of that, stick with one man. But this is just what's shown to us. I mean, they make TV shows about us, not about us, but about women not being able to determine who's the father. Paternity court. Maury.
I don't think there's any issue with a man taking care of another man's child. Women do it all the time, whether you know or not. He might bring another child and say, oh, I had this out of our wedlock, you know, what are we gonna do? Or he's taking your money and paying child support to another family. You had no idea. So when we're just like jumping like, oh, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that, hold on, it's already being done.
You could have been doing so many other things with your life. You could have been figuring your life out, I don't know, feeding pigeons, I don't know, doing anything. But you raising a kid that is not yours. I mean, if you had the option to know that was your kid and you wanted to raise that kid, that's perfectly fine. A lot of people do that. But when you don't know, you're doing it out of the obligation or the mindset that this is my child, I'm gonna raise him or her, I'm gonna raise them up, I love them, this is my DNA, this is my blood. And then come to find out that's not your kid.
Women would tell a man, hey, that's your son, this is your daughter. The man would feel, hey, well, this is my seed, I have to take care of my seed, I have to make sure my seed is good through any situation. Therefore, I'm going to step up to the plate. I'm going to feed my child. If I got to put myself on child support, it is what it is, but I need to make sure that my child is well taken care of. They're not given the opportunity to walk away from the situation because they're being told that they are the father. Now, if they would have just kept it 100, because we are living in a world where you should be 100 at all times, okay? Who cares about their feelings? And I'm not saying don't care about your man's feelings, but what I'm trying to say is this. Hey, it's better to tell him now than for him to find out 18 years later down the line that he is not the father. I don't know what would transpire then. That's a perfect example as to why they should be mandatory. You're creating a false space, and deep down you know it. So for you to have this hunch on your back for decades, it's people who had kids, didn't know that they weren't theirs, and passed away thinking they were theirs. What type of person are you? People cry out sympathy all the time, but where is the sympathy for this man at? Why can't you just tell him that? But see, me, I've been through baby scares. I've been through this type of situation before, and I know that from the beginning, I'm getting a DNA test. I was told to sign the birth certificate. I was told to do this, that, and the third. But you know what I did? DNA. From there, we will move forward. Let the sticks fall where they will.
I mean, in all honesty, I think, with government, potentially passing a law to make DNA like a must, I think it works out for the best for everyone, in all honesty, because for a kid, I think the kid deserves to know who's their real mother.
Exactly.
And if it's something that we start now, it's something that makes it an easier conversation down the road where it's not necessarily about trust, but it's just something that comes as a part of having a kid. I mean, you've already tested the baby to make sure that it's healthy. Why not test to make sure you understand who the parents are?
Exactly.
I think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid. I don't think that, it's something that if you feel like you need a DNA test, go do that on your own time.
Okay, that was that video. This is getting interesting. So, one thing I do want to say is this. It's just one word, and it's accountability. We as men have to be accountable for our actions, but at the same time, the women have not been accountable for their actions. So this kind of evens the playing field. You have to know who the baby father is, and you have to be accurate. And if you're not accurate, then hey, you cannot get child support, you cannot get assistance or whatever the case may be. I don't care if it was you slept with 20, you better find out who they was, because at the end of the day, one of those men are the father. So women, y'all gotta quit playing around with these men, because like I said, I've been through this situation before and it is nothing nice. And the craziest thing about it was, after I got the DNA test, they wasn't even woman enough to say, hey, I'm sorry that this happened. I'm sorry that I put you through this situation. None of that. None of it. You know what I'm saying? So they will put you through this shit. They will send you through the mud. They will send you through the trenches. And then when you find out that you're not the father, oh, they poof. They disappear. No messages, no voicemail, no. I mean, but throughout the whole duration, you the daddy, you know you the daddy, you the daddy. Quit trying to get away from me, daddy. You know what I'm saying? But then as soon as you show the proof that you are not the father, poof. She just did a magic trick. She just disappeared. What? No sorry, no nothing. Back when these situations had happened, I would say it was the type of females I was messing with. I had to change my mindset. I had to filter out the females, because at the end of the day, yeah, the females are there. You can go out to the club, you could go out anywhere and be like, yeah, you know, I want to find me a nice one. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can always find a nice one, but you need to find a nice one mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, all of that. So when you're going to the club and you're trying to find that sexy ass female that's just cold-blooded, she just sexy as hell, but she crazy at the same time. You know what I'm saying? She might have some screws loose, but she's sexy as hell. Is that something that you are willing to deal with for the rest of your life? Because a cute face fade over time. You need to understand her mental state. You need to understand where she's at in her life. You need to understand, you need to figure out, is this person compatible with me to the point to where I can live with this person for the rest of my life? Or is this a person I can even get along with? You know, I don't know if women even watch my channel, but if you do, let me know down below. Let me know if you think that paternity tests should be mandatory. Men, also, if you've been through a situation to the point to where you have got a female pregnant, had a DNA test and found out you weren't the father, or you were the, how did you feel when you went through that whole situation? Drop it down below. But if you like the content, follow me, you know what I'm saying? Turn on the post notifications. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, bash women. I'm not trying to go off on women or whatever the case may be. It's just crazy because whenever I'm scrolling, I'm seeing this type of stuff. So women, if you have any videos of men that's just out of pocket, send it to me. I love to react to it. It's your boy Jay. I'll holla at y'all on the next one.